Good thing they are.
Okay, I think my buttons are good.
Oh wait, no, you're supposed to go fucking soldier and Genji. Oh my god.
Fine for now.
Alright, we're running standard dives, seems fine. Since they're running like shield tank on high ground, like I think we still do the same thing of like bring the tracer around to the back, force them with our tanks to drop onto point, and then dive whoever's left on top, and then clean up. Our focus is pretty much the Zen, and then like the Widow Mercy. If you can get a nice Discord on Brigitte, she can die real fast too. And maybe she's a better target than Mercy because she can't as readily escape as Mercy can sometimes. It's hard to do that sort of focus when you're running Soldier because what they'll end up doing is dropping down and just dropping shield here and just all collecting here. Which is not... Like, normally that's a death sentence against a Winston. But with, like, Brigitte, like, constantly hitting someone, the heals just, like, completely prevent Winston from being effective. The time to kill for the Winston... Like, Winston's forced to leave because he's just... takes too long to actually kill them there.
Okay,
Okay, let's go underneath. Go straight left. Underneath.
Yeah, underneath, yeah. Go underneath and take and force them down to point.
So
and then we just dive whoever's
They're
on
on the
point.
high ground. They're on high ground blue right now.
Yeah,
Right
just
side.
force them down to point.
Yep, I'm right behind them. Gonna keep poking them
The
down.
D.Va's gonna go down to point, so
Alright, so we didn't take a lot of poke initially, seems fine. We're positioned relatively well. I don't think there's any point in Lakota shooting shield if that's what he's doing. I can't really tell.
I'm just focusing the
But what happens here? We're split on calls. We're like the tracer. I don't know where Abu is. I last saw him like back here, back by the mini. He's unable to currently assist this dive up top. Our Diva's not able to assist this dive up top, and I don't know if Soldier's shooting. Soldier might be shooting Zen. Soldier might be like shooting down here. I can't really tell. I think this dive here is good. In general, Brigitte dropped, so she can't peel. Diva, I don't think Diva used boost, but she's not currently peeling. And this bubble's fantastic because it like breaks line of sight with everyone. And like if this is discorded, like this is perfect if we're coordinated. And it's communicated, but it's like a little late. What triggers this station usage?
Right
just
side.
force them down to point.
Yep, I'm right behind them. Gonna keep poking them
The
down.
D.Va's gonna go down to point, so I'm just focusing the
They
D.Va
gotta
now.
open
Jump it up.
There's a
Lakota gets chunked by some. Oh, it's the
right
Widow.
behind the wrist of shield.
Watch her, the
Yeah, right now we're not doing anything with our
Widow.
tracer.
That's the point.
Sin's on point.
Some
He's one,
miscoordination
Zen's
of
one.
what we're trying to do.
Discorded.
Mercy's gonna res me. Mercy's resing me.
Mercy discorded. Mercy.
Get the Widow. Widow behind the.
I'm on Mercy. Okay.
Yeah, we're just
I'm on
split.
I'm on Brigitte.
Okay, Arissa's this. Okay, I'm on Arissa. Okay.
Yeah, you can hear like Gray saying he's on the support, and Lakota's like I'm on the Orisa, but the Orisa is like untouchable. We definitely had that with better target focus. I don't really know if you were following Discord super well.
What's my reload button? What's my reload button? Fuck. I can't reload. Fuck it, I'll just use the whole clip, whatever.
Alright, and now we're like super staggered.
Ow, she just fucking
Who's
dashed.
in there?
It's Bridget and Arissa, that's it. And Mercy's
No,
right
who's on
right
our
now.
team is in there still?
I just died. We
Okay,
took out the
okay.
Zenny staggered.
Not really. He's less.
Yeah, the problem with
Watch out, no.
yeah, okay, that's
Alright,
late.
let's just wait.
No, Bonnie has a closer defensive spawn than an offensive spawn
Are we
for
still
first
going down
point.
Just play
It's
it
really
cool.
awkward for us.
Yeah, go underneath, force them to
Okay,
point.
okay, okay.
Tonki, come up here with
Okay.
us.
I'll bring Tonki back.
Trading generally doesn't benefit us.
Wait for Tonki to get in position. Like, give him a
Let me
little
know.
bit.
Alright, so as they're positioning now, that Zen is just right here, right? It's rough to get to her. Like the soldier won't be able to do anything here. Maybe the goal might be to like rotate the entire team around back to this back hall since they only have these three to contest you. Doing that, and then you can drop down with DPS, and then the shield won't be effective at this angle. Obviously the Widow's going to go here. and rotate, and like maybe the Diva can hold you at this door in the meantime, or like the Widow's back here firing across this sight line. But like, at least then you're not using your jump to get in. So when you get low here, and you probably will get low here, you can just leave.
Just keep me orb whenever you can.
So it gives you a chance for your Tracer to get into room.
Oh, this is some point. I'm gonna go high ground.
Okay, we're ready. We're ready.
Alright, Gray has already taken like half his health and damage, unfortunately. It could have just been one Widow shot though. He doesn't have any follow-up here on high ground. So like, with the Mercy Pocket, the Winston doesn't do anything. And with like the Diva Matrix, the Diva doesn't do anything. So Widow can just like hook this way and start like line of sighting the soldier coming on high ground. So this dive is completely dependent on the soldier getting damage on the Widow, because otherwise like damage just won't happen until Matrix runs out. And she hasn't used her hook, so she's actually kind of a weak target for us to jump.
I want Diva on high ground.
We're so split. Like the call, he was jumping Widow, and you're on Diva.
I got boot pulled off.
Widow's still up there as well.
I'm going up there right now.
ground.
Come on, Mercy, Mercy, what?
Break this Diva so I can ult. Break this Diva so I can ult.
Heard that.
I mean, the ult doesn't like. Even if you break the Diva mech, like I don't understand what your ult is going to accomplish. They have a shield here. They have a shield here that no one else is helping you break. It's like not really effective. I think what would have been better is they don't have a lot of damage, honestly, if the Widow isn't doing anything. If we swap just based on their comp, just swap like hard death ball with like Lucio, Moira, Brigitte, Ryan, Zarya, and I don't like Reaper, or like literally any other DPS, Diva, and we just fucking rush this, I don't think they do enough. I think we just shit on them. Especially if they're holding back corner.
Break Diva so
Like,
I
I understand
Someone hurt,
that
someone hurt.
we're gonna have to adjust to this.
Mercy
Diva
spot.
half.
Asin. Damn, I'm dead. No more ults.
Yeah.
Oh
What
shit.
is my reload?
Just come on. She's out of make.
Okay. It's a back hold.
Okay.
Actually,
Yeah, there's
no trading.
spinning here.
I'm
You
on
get a
low ground,
visor, cool.
Diva,
Discord's
on
So
on
Diva.
Mercy's in a terrible position.
Discord's on the
Tracer's
Brigida,
low.
she's in.
Just really spread, but we're going to get this.
Mercy's, yeah, Mercy's.
Mercy one.
Nice,
Cool.
dude.
Diva.
I think Gray played this last fight pretty well.
Ow.
Oh, man.
That's unfortunate.
I'm still on
It's just
Diva? Oh shit, I got sniped.
Where was Lakota when he died?
It's just Diva.
He stay high ground.
It's just Diva. Widow's
Just
main.
Diva?
Careful. Don't peek
Widow's
main.
coming in main. Watch for the.
Alright, we don't need that bubble.
Bridge is coming back in.
Bridget.
Oh, no, come.
She discorded? She's now discorded. Okay.
Someone on the sun's in.
Who has our
Just coming
who
back
has
in?
our orb?
Bridget.
It's just Diva. Widow's
Just
main.
Diva?
Careful. Don't peek main.
Widow's coming in main. Watch for the left sideline.
We don't have a healing orb on anyone. I think.
Bridge is coming back in.
Okay.
Bridget.
Oh, no, come.
Bridget. Someone on the sun's
We
in.
still don't have a healing orb on anyone.
Mercy
Mercy
point.
on
Mercy on point. One. She's rezzing.
Okay.
Cool. I'm pushing up.
Alright, we're just gonna
Diva
cap this.
half. Mercy.
Alright,
Zenyatta's under free.
Yeah, the
One.
Zenyatta short spawn. Zenyatta short.
so we're gonna run into an issue where like this point is so fucking open. And like our high ground control's okay. But like we're gonna lose most poke battles, and if we're losing the poke battle, then suddenly the soldier doesn't seem as opportune. Maybe it's supposed to be Widow here. Maybe we just need like harder dive, or maybe we just need to go death ball. Like death ball with a Widow.
Just pull out.
They have it right now.
We can just take high ground.
Yeah, I'm also gonna play high ground.
They're coming in.
You can kind of take high ground, I agree, but like the Widow can also just position away from you.
Whoa.
No, she's just giving them ult.
Fuck.
I can res.
They're coming in. They're coming in.
This is rough. Gray's by himself. Gray needed to have left earlier, and now we're like going in staggered. You can see like Abu's
Yeah,
now
yeah.
aggressing.
We can't.
Is not. Yeah, he backs out.
Okay, just wait. I'll focus on the
Sweet,
flank.
sweet.
Is this where Lakota does his
Okay,
flank?
I'll
Yeah.
hold, so I'm gonna initiate hard.
I'm on the high ground behind them whenever y'all are
He
ready.
doesn't even have visor. He's
Widow-
just like over
Widow's bottom
here.
left in the corner near the mega. So is
Oh my god. He gets spotted out because of course he does.
I'm gonna go on her.
Okay.
And I don't know what he's supposed to be accomplishing here.
Holy Grail?
What?
Widow's on the
Oh.
high ground.
Oh shit.
Discord. Reinhardt.
Yeah, he just instantly
idiot.
dies.
I'm actually on Mercy on left side.
Come on, Mercy.
Discord.
Oh, D.Va 1, D.Va 1, D.Va 1.
Alright, so we used bomb. We're down our other DPS. They're like advanced healing is kicking in, and we're getting some payload thing, but I think this fight's over. The fight has devolved to a point where like half the team is kind of like in this space away from where they can like focus or help or be supported by Zenyatta. We're down 2 major sources of DPS in Pulse Bomb and Soldier, and we're not really close to killing anyone. So I think we just need to reset. We just took this fight poorly,
Reinhardt now.
based entirely on the flank. We got the Raz up, okay. We get the Rhine because his team just wasn't
I'm
helping
just
him.
getting high ground.
Why are you just getting high ground?
D.Va discorded.
Yeah, can we break D.Va mech?
We give up position there for a second. If they're going to push this way, if we just stand here, we have good lines of sight and we can force them around. Instead, we gave them that doorway again.
He's on point.
Let them res for free. That's going to be rough.
Discorded.
Baby D.Va.
There's like no line of scrimmage here. Yeah, we're just like all over the fucking place.
There's a few behind us. Shit, the Widow got me again.
Zen also.
Yeah, you can't, it's so difficult to go high ground against a Widow when you're Soldier and that Widow's not being
Pull out,
pressured.
we're down 2. This is a lost fight. Unless you're like getting kills right now.
No.
Okay, we're almost back. We're almost back.
Discord's on Zen.
That Zen is pretty close up.
Discord's still on Zen if you can dive.
Alright,
Yeah,
Lakota's
can
gonna
I
try to go high ground again
Yeah.
against the Widow.
Widow's way back at the old high ground, like the very end of high ground.
Yeah, she's so uncontestable way back here.
I can pulse the Rhine whenever we're ready.
Okay, do that. Do that.
Use Discord?
Does
Discord on.
it keep fucking flanking me? Holy shit.
You got Discord Mercy.
Mercy 1.
Soldier's not gonna be effective here, unfortunately.
Discord Reinhardt.
It has to be someone who can beat Widow.
Widow, but she's a little far away from me.
Yeah. Break this Rhine
I'm gonna
shield?
go left side instead.
I feel like Tonki was super close. Did he ult? No.
I'm
just
such an idiot. I was literally just zoning out. It's for
Probably have.
Fuck it.
Alright, so we got
Genji that
fucked there.
game. I'm already feeling doing comms. Like, I don't know.
I've got some ideas.
Lots
I
of
like this
complaining
product,
We can just
isn't
drop
helping.
Yeah, so you just want to control this corner. Stay up here, and like if the Genji walks up here, you tase him until he runs away and gets the health pack, or you, you know,
Yeah,
you wait for.
Alright,
them to
typical
come in.
dive defense means we overwhelm their resources from a bunch of different angles while cycle contesting if they're running this death ball.
We're rotating all the way around.
Alright, so the call right now is with them going this way, that we're supposed to just trade high grounds and regroup on this one. We don't do that. Or at least not entirely.
Just rotate to
Yeah.
the far side of the high ground. Rotate to the far side of the high ground. Just like that. Yep.
You see how the soldier leaves because he knows? Okay, actually the call is just rotate to the far side of the high ground, but like,
Whenever someone drops, we
take a very,
Oh, we
very,
dive.
very
Treat this
poor
like we're
decision
attacking.
here.
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Except we can't like use the point to contest.
It's fine you can't use the point to contest because this sort of stall here benefits you more.
When if anyone
But like, look how
season,
close
nobody
Tonki
loves-
Tonki gets
speed is-
in range of their fucking Reinhardt, which is a huge
you guys,
problem.
there's speeds you guys-
And like, as they're rotating down, we don't take this opportunity to like jump these people. So as they drop and kill both of our backline here, we don't take the initiative.
I'm going up on Soldier, I'm going up on Soldier
Mercy
and
up here,
Mercy.
Mercy up here.
We're
Come
just
on,
too
Mercy.
late. And so the Mercy gets to just leave Both our supports die because they don't rotate properly. If the call is to stay here, once this is rushed, you got to drop down to like the lower mega room and come back up here. Or go all the way around to come back upstairs, maybe. Lingering here is just pretty fucking bad as Zenyatta. Like, maybe Mercy can do it because she can leave, but like Zenyatta can't. And they're just gonna rush you with Mercy, with Lucio speed once they realize you're there. So we needed to not stay here. Especially with our very important immobile support, we needed to just rotate away from them. And so right now this fight's over.
On Lucio on point. Oh, they're all
Like
point.
there's like we're split as fuck. We have no sustain.
Pick a target.
Maybe what we could have done. Oh, he dies on the back end to just the soldier. Okay. Maybe what we could have done is like hug the corner to like soft contest, and then use shifts to go back and regroup and recontest after giving up 2 ticks.
Bridget's on me. Testing.
But yeah, it's not happening here.
Ever win when we run defensive dive into comps like this?
Yeah, I guess.
I like the idea of going death ball after this fight.
Yeah.
Alright, so if everyone's up, like, it might really behoove you to like just be holding this corner preemptively. If not, the first fight you can really take is kind of like here. They're pretty good in elongated fight, however.
I guess so. Let's just get Abu onto Sombra. I'll go.
You
we're
really
gonna
like
range Susan to
Sombra.
dive. Just get Discord on someone. Just kill Ryan. Just...
So this focus on the Rhine should not work whatsoever. Between like Zarya Bubble cleansing this shit and his 3 supports who can pocket him, 2 of which are very strong at pocketing, and just like soldier heal, like Rhine is absolutely the weakest person to go for. He should have armor for the entirety of this, negating half the team. He can put his shield up whenever the fuck he wants. Like, if you were picking someone, if they're this close together, the Mercy can't go anywhere. The Brigitte can't go anywhere.
Get him.
Like, his health just like doesn't fucking
Discord should
move,
still be on
and we end up getting the soldier.
Ryan. I don't know why Discord was switched off the target.
Because you can't fucking kill him. And so Tonki, knowing that, is like, oh, this isn't working, swaps to a target he can actually like fucking murder, and he carries this fight.
We win.
Soldier came rushing behind me.
Brigitte's in the middle of your team, discorded at half health, ulting, like she should die.
It's on Brigitte. I'm blading here. I'm blading Brigitte.
Okay, seems
I'm
fine.
going for Zarya. Discord's on the Zarya.
We likely didn't need the visor, but if we lose any more people, then we probably can't hold up close, so I understand why.
Who's the target? Who's Discord on?
Sorry.
I'm on Zarya. Zarya.
You tanks. I'm out of mech.
Alright.
Lucio's one. Okay, let's pull out.
I'm 60 to.
That soldier doesn't, that bubble doesn't make too much sense. You can just line of sight everything.
I have ult if we need to.
Get soldier back on high ground. Yeah, we have to.
Lakota should not be here. I think he still has dash, so he's safe. But like, he's going to eat a lot of poke and be forced to use cooldowns, which is going to delay our push. He should also be using cover, like top of bus, or this entryway, or something right now to try to get an off angle. If he was like up here, firing down, this creates like such a better crossfire.
Support ults for when they
But like, he's forcing Tonki to keep the orb on him instead of on the tanks, and the tanks are looking for a time to actually like drop, and they really need it more than Lakota does.
I'm going on their backline. You guys ready?
Yep. There's a soldier in the small room here.
He should not be in here. He's just alone. This is too aggressive. If they just leave and turn on him right now that he's used dash, we lose this fight. And then they just drop beat. Like, they should be dropping beat like now. They can cycle through a bunch of support ults.
Mercy one. Mercy dead.
Zarya.
Who is that Discord?
Zarya has no Discord. Who's Discord on now?
I do want to hear from Tonki more who's Discord on. Like, I guess I need to turn him up because I do not hear him well. And I know he calls it sometimes, but I don't know what percentage of the time he calls it.
Sorry. Now Ryan,
Going forward.
Ryan, can we get this Ryan?
No, you cannot get this,
Ryan,
Ryan.
Ryan, Ryan.
You fucking stop
this
jumping the
swinging.
Ryan.
Okay.
Shoulders alone.
Like, if instead of having his shield up, he just starts swinging on you, then, like, he'll have Shatter, and he can just turn you with Shatter.
He's gone.
Okay, you guys pull back.
Yeah,
Everyone
okay.
pull back.
They're
They're
just
gonna try
playing
to
this
do the
poorly.
same thing. Actually, they switched to Lucio more right now.
Alright, now they have a shit ton of healing.
Yep, they're coming in now.
Where you at?
Oh my god.
Dakota's so far behind. He's not involved in this fight. We need to wait for him to be in position before engaging.
I didn't get up.
With you?
We can drain the Moira's resources at
Lucio-
least.
I'm
Can
Lucio.
we get on with it?
I like that bubble. That's fine. It gives you some poke here.
Okay, let's just.
I'm still Lucio.
Let's get on there.
Zarya.
Okay, so I
With you?
Yeah, this is the one trance I don't like.
Lucio,
I'm
can
Lucio.
we get on with it?
Tanks are pretty
Okay,
safe.
let's just.
I'm still Lucio.
Let's get on there.
Zarya.
Okay, so
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Some miscommunication of like who should ult here.
He just off of us. We want to save our support ults for their tank ults, but okay.
who we on?
I'm on Ryan.
On Lucio?
Yeah, they're just gonna wipe us now. Look how fucking split we are though. We have like Winston, Mercy, like Genji over here. We have Soldier, Diva contesting point.
Okay. We
Giant block.
shouldn't have burned trance there.
Our tanks are
Nah, we should die.
Yeah,
So
no
we
way.
have our idea. We just call a disc is fine. I think we can win this, but we can switch our tests. Yeah,
Same
who can go
soldier.
Beard if you want, but this is fine.
Alright, we're waiting
We just
pretty
need-
long.
Taki, just call out who Discord's on, and we just get on that person.
So like what I'm quickly learning is that running Genji into this character is just awful. Too much residual damage for the poke to matter. If you're not bleeding, you're not doing enough. Unfortunately.
But you have to let us know if it gets.
right now.
Soldier on the high ground.
You know about bubbles?
So yeah, here they come with the ultimate. They're gonna have Grav. We needed to take this fight earlier, but we were like, if we had taken the fight here, knowing that they have Grav, we wipe here, and then the payload, then we can come out and actually contest. But now it's too late.
Zarya on the high ground looking for grabs. Zarya looking for grabs. Zarya looking for grabs.
They
Hold
have
your
this
shield
free.
up. Hold your shield up, dude. Fuck. Yeah, look how much damage
Soldier on the high ground.
You know about bubbles?
Gray
Zarya on the high
loses
ground
during
looking for grabs. Zarya
Grav.
looking for grabs. Zarya looking for grabs.
They have this for
Or
free.
specifically, look how much B money, like you can survive in Grav. Granted, you need a Moira to heal everyone up, or some sort of AoE healing to keep everyone up, which we unfortunately don't have right now. So like, I don't know. We need Moira, I think. We need a not Genji. Even with Blade, it's not going to do anything. Unfortunately, we're going to get continually staggered here somehow.
So just die on card. Everyone die on card.
No, okay, yeah, dying on cart is great, but like the people who could have gotten out are just making it worse later on. The call should be reset with the understanding that reset means if you can't get out, at least stall the payload, but if you can get out, get out. Okay. Die on
I
cart
should
is
answer
rough
into that. Yeah,
sometimes.
that's why we
Like
have
saves
to save trance, 'cause-
might have been able to get out, but now she's not around to contest
need to
this
touch.
point.
Yeah, we need to touch.
And no one can touch, and even if we can touch, we're down our Mercy now.
I don't.
Yeah, no one's gonna touch. Alright, so that was kind of rough. I think we're just hugely disadvantaged comp-wise.
So we're gonna hold on stage.
So we're gonna hold on stage.
Wait, why are you on main?
Alright, so we understand where the team is. Like, we're looking to play on stage. Ideally, they come in from, like, the Mega Room, and we can hold here, and we have, like, a Widow who can see from up here or up here. And we have Tonki who can contribute the entire time. When they go this way, like 4 members of the team end up pushing there, which is a huge fucking problem because it suddenly creates, like, you get a pick and then you push them. but you're creating for yourself a 4v5, even with their man down, since you don't have 2 members of your team able to contribute over here. I think you can take it a little bit slower.
Okay, they're running Death Ball. They have the Brigida.
Good pick.
Their shield's broken. Just charge in. Just charge in.
Alright, we can take our time here, because, like, B-Money's at half. The Mercy's back here. Yeah.
Oh, I got one left.
They're going left, so...
Charging into this shit should just pop him instantly, if their Zarya's paying attention. Or if the Brigitte should have had stun. Like, charging in here shouldn't do anything.
They're going left, so Taki, you have to rotate back, but...
Like, Lakota's gonna get a lot of value here, absolutely, but their healing is so good. Like, right now, this person should just die, but we're so low. We're just eating so much spam from their support
Right
line.
in front of us, she's low.
We're just not shooting her. For some fucking reason.
I'm Rip Tire right now.
I'm down.
And the tire's in the wall.
What on earth?
Okay. And we just let the Brigitte just like literally solos every member of our team here. Because we just completely ignore her.
It's right in front of us.
She's just
low.
swinging.
I'm Rip Tire
She's
right
completely untouched.
I'm down.
Gray needed to like line of sight the rest of the team up here and just start swinging on her. And the rest of the team needed to turn on her quicker. And we needed to not break line of sight with our entire team.
Not consistent.
What support else do we have? We have nothing, and I used Tire and it fell through the wall, so that...
Yeah. You have 2 like tanks that really want to take a fuck ton of damage. You probably just need Moira.
They have their Bridget ult, yeah.
They're rallying in,
Yeah.
they're rallying in, they're rallying in. Our left. Our left remain.
They're just coming through.
I almost have Shutter.
She's using it to give them 150 shields before they even come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're coming in left.
Left
Everyone
side.
rotate to right side of point. Right side of point.
So we're kind of also giving them a shit ton of space here. It might be better to, if we can, control from like here forward. So we're actually controlling like this space rather than like this space. Because right here, we're not creating any space for Lakota to do anything but spam across, while they suddenly, you're giving them control of bridge. Like, now this guy can go this way. Their Genji can play with like Roost up here more easily. And in order for you to like use the pack that's down here that like supposedly your Sombra has hacked, you have to like walk through their team. So we back up too readily here, I think, and if we hold them as they come up the stairs, then half their team is like fucking in this room, and they have no real path of retreat except for going like further in or retreating to the Mega, which we have hacked. So like, they're split as fuck, but we just give them so much room here. Like, the Brigette's just not in, even. And instead of like taking a fight, we're just slowly losing ground, and then suddenly we get shattered. We know they have shatter,
Line up.
so instead we're swinging on him. And we get baited. We get baited super hard.
Line-
Bridget's trap, Bridget's trap.
Shit.
You know he has shatter. And so you decide to fire strike after your failed one.
Left. Everyone rotate to right
That's
side
so
of point. Right side of point.
awkward. Like, Briette can just come in and stun you whenever, but like,
I'm gonna move the Ryan
we hack Mercy.
up. I'm
Right,
Ryan.
Bridget's trap, Bridget's trap.
Shit.
Huge shatter.
Right. Zarya's one. Zarya.
Not bad.
What prompts are trance?
I almost have Shutter.
So just
I'm
the
gonna move the
shatter?
Ryan up. I'm
Right,
Ryan.
Bridget's trap, Bridget's trap.
Shit. Right. Zarya's one. Zarya.
Not bad.
Seems fine. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's fine.
Big.
This person has so much armor. This Mercy's unkillable. But we have
I'll
really
let you,
poor target focus from here on
what's it
out.
called?
Like, Gray is still not able to keep up with heals because Mercy has to decide between healing him and healing someone else, and we don't have control of this pack. So Gray's unable to swing, which means he's just going to get fucking bullied. Like, these two, he's not unable to take space whatsoever. Junkrat's like up here, which kind of sucks, because he's unable to like readily apply the damage to the person who's swinging on Reinhardt.
I'm on Bridget. Bridget Discord.
Yeah. Brick.
No
So he's
bubble?
gonna get soloed by like Mercy here.
Oh my
We're just really not aggressive enough.
Get that Ryan's Zarya?
Unfortunately, no one was alive to help that. And B-Money's going to the fight.
Ryan's one, Ryan's one.
Focus targets, follow targets.
Who's Discord on?
This one again.
Are we back?
Zarya's one, Zarya's one. Okay.
Alright,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
it
keep 'em
progressed to this point, we probably didn't need
on.
tire.
Just keep on targets.
But I
keep
understand
on
why we
targets.
did it.
Yeah, they're pulling out. Next fight.
Alright,
we have,
that seemed really
next
sloppy to
fight,
me.
we still
And we
50%
stopped the
to
snowball.
So we don't really have
Unfortunately, it
anything.
cost
Do they use
us
Sombra?
our 4. We used 5 ults there to save that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't think we used EMP. They're coming in with Blade Grab, which we should know.
Zarya ult?
That was our grab. Unless you deflected their grab, I mean, that was our grab.
Yeah, so they're gonna
Alright, Lakota playing up here is fine. He just doesn't respect the Genji.
I can build up a ton of ults up here, I just realized, because they have no high ground to contest. So we just gotta poke them.
That's like famous fucking last words, because you just kill yourself here.
I thought Saves could get some.
probably gonna Zarya ult this.
Come on.
Yeah, they're gonna Zarya ult here.
Playing right
We
side?
don't really have anything for it.
Alright, I don't mind us backing up point now, but we are fucking split. Like, Tonki and someone else? Can't tell who.
Zarya ult here.
Playing right side.
Mercy. Oh,
We
okay.
don't have anything for it.
So Tonki, you don't ever want to be here. Like that's such a bad position to be in general. Your retreat path for supports are generally behind lines of sight into spawn. On defense and on offense, it's like down to the mega by staying on bridge or staying on like this high ground here and being able to retreat to mega too. Being back here is just you just get trapped in this U-bend. And it sucks that we're so fucking split because like we have our tanks on this side who are unable to be healed because Zenyatta is in the U-bend and Mercy's like over here. From what we'll see here in a second. So like falling back is fine because we're down a person, so we need to absorb a little bit in order to get a clean, fair fight. And they're looking to snowball their advantage, particularly with their ultimates. Like I'm surprised they haven't ulted literally anything right now. But we're just so fucking split. Like, there's the Zen. Yeah, there's the Mercy way over here. Both healers are down before they even have to use anything.
On right.
3 people down. They got 4 kills in a row without doing anything special. Which means there's no way 5, 6 kills in a row without doing anything special.
Don't use EMP now.
Yeah, it's so rough. Like, Sombra doesn't have a decision here, really. Like, the EMP isn't going to do anything because no one's close enough to respawn, so maybe you have to give that second tick and contest absolutely last second and just Hail Mary it. But, like, he's so fucked because the rest of the team misplayed terribly.
Okay.
Like, imagine the disdain on his face when he like fruitlessly ults to maybe give us a chance of contesting this after his death, his impending doom, and he sees 1, 2, 3, 4 ultimates, any 3 of which would be sufficient to like any 2 of which would be sufficient to just like wipe a team. Like, fight's over, dude.
They're all hacked. We just gotta frag out.
Decent shatter. The problem is there's like, oh, we're split again. Tonki's in the back DPSing. In a situation we need people to stay up, sort of. Like, it makes sense to DPS here because they have people down and we absolutely want to kill them before they use their ultimates. However, his positioning is such that if they don't die during this, these people won't get heals from him at all. Like, we need to coordinate it coming out the same side at least.
On the Zarya, guys, get the Zarya, she is off.
We're too late to pin. Yeah. We need to coordinate what, like,
Did we never
side we're coming out of.
get a Zen ult that round?
Oh, we got a Zen ult.
No, we did. We
Lost us 3 egregious. It fell.
Like, completely. But
What are we
anyways,
running? What are we doing?
yeah. What's the comp? Which
Are we ever
Unless
gonna
unless you're
play Arena?
why did I what the heck? That's
I
Get like our value out of our Zen.
have comp you need to just back?
tire, and then I would use that tire to get wipe as they were all in that holes. So I actually
Yeah,
had
still
about playing
play
out of my
Red
tire.
Bull.
Alright. We're still running like dive into this, which I guess kind of works. Just because dive's okay. Like the Widow is the best part of this dive. I think it works for first point. I think you can't transition this to second point since the time to kill any of them is just too fucking long, and any pick you originally get will just
Boost
be
me real quick, saves. Saves.
fucked.
Oh man, we gotta focus on this.
Yep. Let's just go through this left
Got a
room.
Ryan on stage.
Go
I
on
can
that
see a
side, on the
Widow.
other side.
Alright. At no point do you want to go this way with dive. The only exception is if they're running dive defense like up here and you have a soldier to poke them out. Or if they're holding like the Orisa up here all grouped up and you need to go to the Mega to get to like this point to dive up here without taking a shit ton of poke. But even then, it's like you still have the option of going this way. So what's going to happen here is they rotate, set up a shield here. You can't walk through it. You're in this tiny room that you can't really leave or dive past effectively, and you're just going to get walled off by these two. All the rest of them just kind of like hit you a little bit.
MRDM.
Oh, there she is. She's right side stairs.
Yeah.
She's
Okay.
going to right high ground. Zen's on stage.
Okay.
Widow's top right with Mercy. Tanks don't have Mercy on them. I'll bring
I don't
in
think we can push this choke.
Yeah, let's just pull out of here. I'm sorry, this is a bad idea.
Pulling
Mercy
out.
and Widow top right.
We
Ryan
realized
on
it pretty
stage, Ryan on
fast, though.
stage. Zen's
The thing is, like, we're in position now to actually like commit to something. Well, half the team is. Half the team is like pulling out, but still being in range to like do shit, and then the other half is like way the fuck behind. Like, it doesn't matter for the Widow, I guess. I guess we're
Tap.
fine.
Let's just go to point.
It's not a real
Let's go to-
complaint. Zenyatta's way in the back, which is fine. Mercy and
I'm going on point.
Mercy and Widow are in the same place.
I'm on Widow.
Oh,
Oh my. Okay. So both tanks blow their blow their mobility on a Widow that does not have grapple on cooldown, so they just get baited. That's honestly really bad. So now no one can follow the Widow grapple. We're stuck 3 people on low ground with 3 people still at the choke against a team that can just like 6 man us here. The only saving grace is like this Mercy is
Widow,
like,
Widow no
kind
dash.
of close.
Widow no dash. Can we get this Widow?
No, the grapple's too good. B-Money gets up there with like the last of his thing, but like Lakota has no health and completes the dash up, and is going to continue playing like in line of sight of their entire team, and Gray's just like left on the ground.
Okay.
So that was like really bad.
Okay, I guess not. Let's pull
Widow
out.
belong, or, shit.
They fortunately don't have a lot of poke outside of like these two. So like there's a lot of space you can just like walk up on them so long as you're line of sighting the Widow and be fine.
Is Discord on? Or let's pull out. We're pulling out.
Tries to get a pick. I don't really blame him. They don't have a ton of space control unless you're close. But like if this Widow gets
Widow,
him,
you have
then
to
it's a
coming
throw.
to you.
I didn't get the high ground.
Brigitte's alone left side.
We're ready.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go right side, get high ground.
I'm going on Zen. I'm going on Zen.
Okay.
Zen is kind of split. If Winston lands here, he bumps the Zen this way, and the rest of the team this way. Seems fine. He told people he's on Zen, but like Lakota was mid calling some other rotation, so I don't think team is actually prepared for this, and Lakota's still at like half health.
3, 2. Okay.
We get the dash in. He goes to half. He just gets murdered.
How? What? Oh, Brigitte.
Yeah, it was not well coordinated enough. Fortunately, I don't think the idea was necessarily bad. I think you're gonna have a hell of a time diving regardless. I think you have to catch them in a
Oh,
rotation.
you're also out of devel. Okay, I didn't know that.
This comp of them just
That
like
was a huge feed.
fucks us.
Nice Widow pick. If we can group up fast, we can.
Yeah, we can go.
Let's
Yeah.
dive on. Let's dive to the Zarya.
Sorry.
Let's get this in. Get this in.
I'm on Zen.
On Zen.
Zen doesn't have the Mercy Pocket anymore. He should just trance here. Or like,
Yeah, we can go.
Let's
Yeah.
dive on. Let's dive this.
or his fucking Brigitte needs to turn around and
Let's
press
get this in, get
pack
this
on
in.
him.
I'm on Zen.
On Zen.
Just absolutely doesn't pay attention to him. Alright, so now how can we fuck this up? Gray's alone right now. If their Widow looks at Gray, Gray can die really fast, but he's currently preoccupied
What?
by a boo.
Okay.
I
Ryan?
think he
On
dies
Ryan now?
anyway.
Mercy's
He's like 1 health.
on the
Just
high ground
Widow?
with Widow. He's on the high ground with Widow.
on Zarya.
Mercy and Widow top left.
Forget chasing me.
Get the Mercy.
Oh.
See how fucking split we are? Half the team just went on Mercy.
Zarya.
Mercy and Widow top left.
Forget chasing
So Diva will continue hitting this, and this will continue hitting this. There's no call here.
me. The Brigade on.
I'm a
No.
Widow.
Mercy's one.
I'm a Mercy.
Widows, Widow.
Zarya, get the Zarya.
Zarya.
We're still on like 4,000
One
different
point.
people.
Okay, fine, Zarya on point.
Zarya low, Zarya low.
In the back.
I'm gonna blade to clean this up.
No, Mercy.
When did we trance?
Ryan?
On Ryan now.
Mercy's
Ryan's
on the
on
high ground
Widow?
with Widow. He's on the high ground with Widow.
On Zarya.
Mercy and Widow top left.
Forget chasing me. The Brigade on.
I'm a
No.
Widow.
Unfortunately, neither of his tanks are going to get helped by this trance. It's purely for self-sustain. It is really egregious that the Brigette's able to walk entirely to Zen without the team reacting, because she is fucking out of position when she does that. Instead, we're like tunneled in this high ground thing.
Mercy's one.
I'm a Mercy.
Widows, Widow.
Zarya, get the Zarya.
Zarya on point. Okay, fine, Zarya on point.
Zarya low, Zarya low.
In the back.
Brigade.
I'm gonna blade to clean this up.
It was a really bad blade. That blade was the
Is someone
only
in the
snowball
perimeter?
potential we had on the
It's
second
Widow?
point if we
I'm
could
go-
get
she
their
used-
trance.
She used her ult. Her. Okay.
I get on point. Get on
I'm
point.
coming
get
down my
on point.
corner.
Tell me if you get Discord on anyone.
Yes, I want that one.
Discord Reinhardt.
I ate it by accident.
Okay, what is doing work
Okay.
here? So they're down
Get
Widow.
on point. Get on
I'm
point.
coming
get
down my
on point.
corner.
Tell me if you get Discord on anyone.
Discord Reinhardt.
I ate it by accident.
The Reinhardt just like... Okay, he had to have taken a headshot from Widow here. I'm convinced that, like...
Discord Reinhardt.
I ate it by accident.
What the fuck just chunks in there? Why don't they trance? They're down a player. They need to actually do shit. Or shatter.
Who we on?
Can you get the Zarya?
Trace on Zen. Trace on Zen. Trace on Zen.
Tuck is forced retreat.
Trace the bottom. Come in right. Trace
Brigade?
on right side point.
I'd like to see him back up to bridge. Because right now his back's to a
Zen
spawn.
coming out, right side. Can you get the Zen over here? Okay, force that trance.
Now they
Nice.
trance. It's so weak.
Yeah, that was on purpose, I'm sure.
Honestly, Widow.
Especially on this open part.
Or just shut off.
No.
Alright, so they're running they're running a standard meta comp. Essentially. We are running like Brigette's not gonna do anything here. This entire map is so fucking heavily shield break dependent, and she does not contribute to that in any meaningful way. It's another shield for the Bastion to blow through, but like, at least Zenyatta contributes to both the shield break and has like a sick nasty ult, and Discord once that shield does break. Like the Widow junk here is fine. Everything is fine except the Brigette.
Like 2 shots and bouncing.
It just won't be able to do
trips,
anything unless we're looking to like rush the Bastion, which we're not. We also fuck up
Okay,
like this
Bastion?
first
Mercy.
hold
Oh my
really
God, I hate
bad.
that shield.
The goal should be like you set up the first shield here. You wear down their shield, try to get a halt hook, like off the side of the shield on the Bastion or on someone, and get a pick with your Widow while falling backwards. And we kind of fall backwards, but we end up going into like this room, which doesn't do anything for us. Honestly, is really bad. You have like you're only controlling this space while they get to like run around and start hitting you from here, and they can constantly line of sight you with the doorway while you don't have as many good places to hide from the doorway. and you need to be constantly in the doorway to like to halt the payload. So like there's no retreat option here. And if like one person gets picked and you're like, oh, everyone has to fall back, you come out of this doorway as this rounds the corner, and they just stagger you further. So the goal instead, if I can get a good angle on it, is like use this space to break the shield and try to get a pick with your halt hook and widow, while building Junkrat Tire from maybe an off angle. And then hold this angle here. Use like the stairs coming up to get a good angle on their shield. You have like a widow back here to like properly hit them from an off angle. Try to get a pick, trying to get an advantage and rush it.
Take a second.
Push, halt.
The halt is bad. The halt like goes beyond the shield, and it got the Bastion off the payload, but you're not in a position to like capitalize on it.
Broke.
Uh-oh.
Okay, we can just use these rooms to line of sight. We can use these rooms to line of sight.
Like Lakota's not even using the shield. We're on a completely different page. Tonki isn't doing anything. Lakota also isn't doing anything. Like he has no angle of attack here. If he's instead like on high ground up here and he's like chucking mines down, or like on the side up here or on this corner, or like anywhere else.
Sight here.
He's just playing with fire. Like if he's here, it's the easiest thing in the world to just halt here, and he has no recourse from dying. Like they don't even need to hook, I don't think, or they hook and they just kill him.
Oh, fucking close.
So Tonki dies because Tonki's up here alone,
I got
can't do
booped.
anything.
D.Va behind us.
And now he's in here and can't do anything.
So what?
D.Va behind us on our support.
Like the entire point of this comp is to stay close, clustered together, so you're providing a united front against them. And when you're not doing that, like they're just doing it better, even though you have the choice of where to engage, so it's advantageous to you.
D.Va hot.
Oh, shoot.
So everyone's dead.
Dying card.
This res is actually really bad. This res is feeding 400 ult charge. Or, yeah, 400 ult charge to someone.
Sorry.
Yeah, we didn't set up an Orisa
Okay,
shield.
what are we doing?
We set up an Orisa shield, it's just that
Hello?
we had a completely different idea of what to do.
Yes.
We have to set up fast.
Switch to Tracer. Switch to Tracer though.
Tracer does
Okay.
nothing here either. It's like...
Dude.
I don't even know.
Ow, ow.
Hello?
I can't. Why can't I? That's wrong. I shouldn't be able to.
What's up?
Hello. I'm just watching Spoon's VOD thing review.
Yeah, I was gonna join at 8, but then I decided that I needed more. Sorry, I needed to learn a little bit more about Brigitte and the new Hanzo. So I've been watching videos and stuff. I also created a visor to know how to use it and shit, just in case.
You created a visor?
What?
Did you say you created a visor?
Oh no, the the visor.gg website, the account.
Yeah.
Like I was just messing around with it just
Oh,
to
okay.
see how it works.
Let me get in that then. That's probably easiest.
Are you guys like on a live session or?
I'm about to be, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was just watching his Twitch.
No,
Can I mute that? Why can't I mute that? Seems really... No, there used to be a mute. Okay, whatever. I should probably do that first. Because then it'll give me the mute. To do. Alright, I posted it in For Your Eyes Only, if you guys want to join.
Okay. Mhm.
Yeah, I remembered the password.
I have to make a new account.
You
Already?
forget your password.
I misspelled my name in visor.gg, and I can't get it changed.
Little I don't even know how
Little
to
P
say that.
soon. Yeah, I don't know.
Pseudo. I guess it's just a silent P. Little soon.
Little soon. Alright, we get like super staggered here on our first defense here. This is pretty bad.
Yeah, we didn't set up an Arista
Okay, what are we
shield.
doing? Yeah, wait, could you go back?
I'm
a
going
minute?
back to the start, yeah.
That's where y'all should start.
Where's that?
I remember I was talking about how we wanted to go about the rotation here, because I always feel like the open that once it's past that choke, it's
Drop right here. Boom. Bam.
Yeah,
at least in
basically here's
most
where you want to stay.
games for me.
This choke here that
I try to stand like by the
they
wall,
haven't
but
been like 2
yeah,
shots and bouncing.
still get.
They have trip tank.
See if we can get a good angle on it again.
Hey, Bastion?
So I think our first thing is that we want to use like here to try to get a pick as long as possible while hitting on their shield. We're probably not going to win the shield war. But like Lakota's like way off onto the fucking side. So he can't walk this way right now because we don't have a shield there. And even if there was a shield, there is a chance that he gets either halted or hooked. So his positioning isn't great. Tonki's also just kind of alone, and the Brigitte pick itself is probably not very good on this map. It's just like way too open, and the Bastion just kind of like ruins it, and the shield break just kind of ruins it. So I think our goal is to like set the first shield here, try to get a halt hook pick or a widow pick while building tire, and then we end up falling back to like this first corner. And then with that first corner, we have like a high ground advantage where we have access to like these stairs, and we can hit them from a bunch of different angles, and then we can like actually rush the payload. Because if like Hog comes up these stairs here and hooks the Bastion, we should win that fight. You know, even if nothing lands but the hook because of like the diva, I think that's enough of a disruption that the rest of the team can take advantage of it. It's just not getting super staggered here, and I think Lakota plays this pretty poorly. So there seems to be a disagreement where like he wants to hold in this little tiny room,
Took a second.
and the rest of the team doesn't.
Oh, it broke.
So they got a nice body block here.
Okay, we can just use these rooms to line of sight.
With him standing here, if he gets halted or hooked, or either, he's just dead. And eventually you're forced to give up this ground because we don't have the shield break on them. And you correctly fall back further, and he's just dead. Like, he just can't do anything. He can't even land, like, decent poke on people.
Oh, fucking close.
I got booped.
Diva behind us? Diva behind us?
So you see, like, right here, like, their diva is obviously poorly positioned. But it got our useless Brigitte off high ground, at least. And now Lakota has nothing to do because he's just fucking collapsed in here. And now the fight, like, the fight's over as soon as Lakota dies, kind of. Because we no longer have the pressure to actually take down the shield, and we don't have any angles anymore. And so we just gave up the entire first phase, essentially.
Yes.
Maybe you can hold that, like, first corner with the shield and shield break and then fall back to second, but I don't know.
Wait, can you tell me which one you mean?
Yeah.
As in,
so like maybe we can start holding here,
yeah.
try to get a pick here, and then fall back to here, and then our last shield here, where we absolutely need to contest. The risk is rotating from this first one to the second one. 1, 2, 3. Rotating from 1 to 2 might leave us super vulnerable, so we'd have to do it like really early. And I don't know if it's better than just starting at 2. I suspect that you only want to do 1 if you're running like a Rhine comp that's looking to rush the payload as it rounds the corner, as opposed to like an Orisa comp that's just trying to like play back. That's my first instinct though. Like I think the best thing is be on 2, have a Junkrat and a Widow poking from an off angle, and a Junkrat with you, just slowly wearing them down and trying to halt hook the Bastion or someone off the payload, and then engaging off of that. And then if that fails, you fall back to 3, and then you have this stairway where the Hog can come around and hook, or the Hog can come around here and hook. And the Junkrat can like stay on high ground or stay up here, and you have a Widow like way the fuck back here trying to get picks, or high ground up here trying to get picks. So
Okay.
so I think it's just like here and here for the most part.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, got it all.
He calls go Tracer here, which I don't know what Tracer's supposed to do here. Like we still have the Brigitte, and Brigitte would be fine if we're trying to rush the payload.
Just
But we're
Abu
not.
Bully that Widow. Abu will bully that Widow.
Drop the Widow drop, just on high ground.
So he's forcing Tracer to like contest the Widow on high ground, but there's no one with him, so it's always like a 1v3.
I'm gonna get ready to push.
Yeah.
Like he's doing well, but like I don't
Oh man.
I don't yeah, I don't know.
Stop.
I want to
them.
watch that again.
I'm gonna get ready to push him.
Like, I'm not even sure how he gets there. He just like boosts in up here, which is weird because they have both the Diva and the Widow presumably up here. It ends up working out, and he ends up falling accidentally. But like, I think a better team just completely punishes him for this, even if he doesn't fall down here.
Get ready to push him point. Oh shit. Widow behind me. Fuck it.
Diva's one. Diva's one.
They just ignore him, which is hilarious.
Roadhog's like, oh shit.
High ground, I got it. Whatever.
I should not have gotten away with
I got
that.
Mercy.
Widow in the bottom left room. You see her, Greg?
Taki makes his first contribution to the fight.
Yeah, in this video that I watched today, it was talking on how to counter Brigitte, and one of the things they said that basically Brigitte is looking for the brawl, but like if you don't give it to her by having like super long heroes until you break the shield, you basically win against her. And this is like a perfect example, I guess. We never got close to them, and the Bastion was just wrecking us from afar.
Yeah.
We has to fight until he went down. Brigitte wasn't doing shit.
Yeah. I like the setup that we're gonna have like up here instead. When they lose their like they have a shit comp right now, because we have like the better shield break and we have high ground, and their McCree shouldn't be able to do anything immediately. But like we're really kind of spread. I forget where I saw our Tracer be, but like Lakota just needs to be with the team, I think. Because he doesn't have to play any sort of risk, because if he gets halted and hooked here, and yeah, there's the Tracer death.
They're under tunnels coming up behind you guys. Careful. If not, they're going main up point.
He gets a kill, he trades it, which isn't good due to spawns and mercy.
Just play behind the shields for now.
That pull was like huge for them.
Alright, Val.
Tunky's now starting to contribute to the fight, but it's like already kind of over. Half the team is like already backed up, while B-Money like hard engages here with his ultimate in the middle of 5 or 6.
They said die on point, so I went to die on point, and then as soon as I did that, someone said, "No, it's winnable," and I was like, "Well, I'm whole hogging on it."
Yeah.
So
Yeah, the calls
I
were fucking split. I don't think this was winnable. We were down like 2 of our major DPS.
and
I
I
think
was gonna switch it.
yeah, I think we need to be more clear on our like communications. In that, like, instead of saying die on point or get back, it should just be like regroup, with the understanding of if it's a payload map or if it's like a control map when we're in control of the point or something like that. And like you're not getting out for whatever reason. You die on payload to at least like stall the payload, but if you can regroup, you can regroup. So like this is everyone's gonna get staggered unless we can actually win this fight at this point. So like if we're taking a fight, I guess it should be on payload, but like I don't think we can win this one whatsoever. Maybe the Orisa and Zen can like come up the high ground and like wait in the back pocket here. But like Hog and Tonky are just fucked. Oh, that's a Mercy. Okay. So we just get like super staggered throughout here.
On cart. We're not doing either. We're dying and we're not on cart.
It was, yeah, I think everyone just got thrown off by that.
You know.
How'd Lakota die again? I missed that.
I'm sorry. I'm playing too aggressively.
McCree went into spawn. Or went
Oh,
to
I
that
see, I see.
pillar there.
Man, that was lame. After that,
Go, 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 go.
Yeah, this bomb doesn't
Really?
do anything.
Except for bait me to come out again because he says it's winnable.
yeah,
I was told it was winnable so many times to just go die.
our comms in that sense really
No one picks it, so.
on point. We've been much better before.
I forget what happens here, but I like your current positioning to hold. Like, that seems like a good shield. We have control of... Oh, a Diva Bomb comes and randomly kills Lakota.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
think
it
he
is.
kills me. I'm not sure.
So we have decent positioning here. We're just kind of poking. We can't really engage. They can't really engage. They open with this, and it's going to get Lakota.
Oh yeah, I did.
And we're contesting on point, which seems fine. Like, if we take a fight here, even if we lose, at least we get another fight before the end. But I think we end up start losing it and start backing up, which is the biggest problem. Yeah, we just stopped contesting.
I think we just got wrecked. Like really fast.
It's fine to lose the fight. It's not fine to also give like the entire payload the whole time. So like instead of the payload just being stuck here the whole time, it gets to here by the time the last person dies. And so like it'll get to like maybe here by the time the Mercy actually spawns. So right now we all need to kind of just like stay in spawn as long as possible. I think you might actually take this with Tyre and Bongo though. I don't recall. But like Lakota's on the wrong side to like group with you guys, so he's just taking poke for free. He's running the risk of the Diva kind of bursting him down. Your positioning seems fine. Tonki's allergic to the shield too. We're like you guys are like well coordinating here. Tonki's like draining the shield for some reason. And then like Lakota is on like such a savage flank that should have been called out because you can see him here. But it's going to work because I guess they're sufficiently distracted. But I feel like you could have made the same play without the risk if like he had just stayed with you and just like killed this person because they got hooked in and then broken shield with everyone and then pushed. Like if it's the same thing, it's just
have their Diva.
yeah, it's just like no risk.
Yeah, exactly. I don't like it when people take unnecessary risks, especially if we have a shield. Like if
Yeah.
I'm playing Winston, do you, man? But like if I'm playing a Reinhardt or a Orisa, and you can definitely survive while still putting in some damage, there's no need to go for the fancy play. I don't like it when people do that, especially as Junkrat. It's just to me, he's really easy to kill.
Yeah, I don't find him to be that sturdy. At least like a Tracer can get the fuck out of there, or sometimes a like Soldier can just like sprint if he's not super committed. But like if we watch that again, it's not like he just went on a flank. Like if he so like here's the doorway. If he's just like here spamming across into here, that's fine because he can still line of sight into things. But I think he like just walks into the mini room, like in full plain view of them. At this point, like the fight's over, so if he staggers, it doesn't really matter.
So actually, oh, can you guys hear
me? Hey man.
Yep.
Hello.
Hello.
The Mercy kind of walks right up to me and begs me to kill her, so I do. Like, if you watch that again, the Mercy literally valks into the room trying to kill me with her pistol, which is why I just walk up and kill her. So Mercy's before, yeah. You go back a little bit so you can see the Mercy fly in.
Yeah.
Yeah. So she's valking. She's outside. She flies into the room and starts shooting at me, and I'm like, "Oh, hello! Oh, hello there!"
I see her now. Yeah.
So that's kind of why. And then I knew that the McCree was down because I just killed him. And I also saw the Hog try to use it. The Hog also tried to use his hook on my tire, so I also noticed that. So I knew that those two abilities were down. So I felt it was sufficient low risk enough to go for that. But yeah, I should have called it out. That's true. Also, I think that this call I made here, go to dive, maybe wasn't the best idea, but I was kind of still under the idea that like dive works at in all the places at all the times. But it's not true. And eat more. Sad face.
I mean, they're not even running anything new though.
Yeah, they're not. They're not. So I thought that's why I figured it would work fine.
Yeah, I think
But
it
maybe it was
should,
a bad
but-
call. People,
I
there seemed to be some disagreement after the match.
think it was just bad organization. I totally left you guys, which is pretty bad. So it could have just been that. Let's see what happened. I know
Yeah.
I left you.
I feel like a
you're-
lot of the issues on this
3
map were just
people are
because we
facing
haven't
this
practiced
way.
at all.
And Lakota and Diva are here, and who's the last person? Zen? Zen's like back here somewhere? Back here somewhere?
Yeah, but the other thing is that was
He
a
was high ground.
I think that was a pretty bad initiation from us. But the other thing is about the call, they were running anti-dive, and the payload was like almost there, so they were definitely going to stay grouped together. I think the
Yeah.
most we could have done was like
Especially like
poke them and jump away. And
I
get
think if like Winston's here or here taking space and then like jumps back to the Mercy on high ground, that might work while just kind of stalling them out. Because right now, like you're engaging on the Widow.
yeah,
Since the Widow has like no sight lines whatsoever back here, if we just stay on like this half of the map, it's a 5v6 in our favor. But with both of you focusing the Widow, who could otherwise be like inconsequential, it's a 4v5 in their favor.
yeah, that was not good.
This is just split focus, I
yeah.
think.
So we were actually discussing what went wrong after this map, and Save said on a good position, and I was like, not. She's like, oh, we were on a good position because they could just go underneath us. I was like, but we're on high ground and they have nothing to contest high ground position.
Like
And
now
she's
we're
like, well, I
at
guess then we just played it
pretty
wrong.
sweet.
And I said like all we have to do is have our tanks like cycle contest the point while Widow like gets value. And she's like, well, obviously like we couldn't do that because they were doing so much damage. And now I realize that Winston went to do something and Devo went to contest the point, so they weren't cycle contesting.
Yeah, they
Instance.
split.
But I mean, like it was a very last minute call. I didn't realize that the payload was that close. Honestly, otherwise I would have just said, yeah, let's go dive and cycle contest while Widow gets value. But I did not call that, so we did not do that.
Though honestly, I think I would prefer to run a different comp if it's just like the last 5 seconds. You know,
Yeah,
last 5 minutes of.
It was kind of it wasn't an ideal call. I feel like just staying on what was working was fine rather than just switch up the entire thing.
You guys get a
Nice
halt.
pull.
Yeah,
She literally pulls through
She
the
gets, like,
wall
fucked.
like
and now they won't have a fight here. Because they're not properly regrouping.
Tonky
picked
needs to
again.
move a little more sometimes with that bastion. Like
Yeah, I don't think this shield makes sense though.
we should have
yeah.
moved, I think, when we got
Like that
those.
second shield, absolutely not.
Yeah, no, I was telling him.
Yeah, I think we called that was by accident.
Yeah, I was telling him that I was under
I think
pressure,
you called that it was like
and through all that, I was like, dude, get off the payload.
That
Yeah, he definitely should be off the payload with given that shield. Like Lakota can
Yeah.
now take the
The
high
shield
ground,
should be
Abu
on
can like
payload.
swing this way, and we should just like continually just like pincer them from different angles. And they're just fucked here.
Where is Lakota? Where is Lakota right now? Does anyone see where
At
Lakota
the
is?
shield.
Oh, I'm behind the shield. Hey,
That's fine.
good boy.
But yeah,
I
when we
think I
took down
have someone that comes out.
their main shield, I wanted to just push
No
forward,
mercy there.
set up, and like just wreck them basically. 'Cause they had
Yeah,
nothing
good
to
idea,
defend.
especially if you have this comp, is once we cap while the doors are opening, just go through and take the high ground of second point. Rather than ride the payload through second point, we can just take the high ground. Like right now, if we just all ran to high ground and took it now while they're all respawning, we would have that high ground for the entire second fight. And then I can just stay on payload the entire and push it while you guys are just holding high ground. And we have a defensive position
See,
on
I
the
don't
offense,
know
and
if
that's not on
that's
the
true
payload.
because the way
So I
you
feel
have
like the
to
payload is weak on this point. I feel like the high ground is strong.
the like way
Because
you
I've
have
seen
to
multiple
get.
teams do that in the rush.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so the way you have to get to high ground though is right past their spawn, and judging by the way they're staggered, the only person who like didn't get good spawn is like their diva. So it's a 5v5 when they already have position on high ground. So I don't know if you can push up there.
But if we wipe them, then I guess yeah. Is that what
Yeah, I
you're
guess
saying?
it's. I guess if they take a late, I guess we can do that if they take a very late contest and we wipe them here.
You ready for halt? 3, 2, 1.
I think you. Maybe you're supposed to halt differently here,
Probably. I'm not that good of a.
but we still get the hog.
I think I called him.
Right there, we're repositioned.
We're trying to
We
work
still
on
get the hog, Monka S.
them.
I think now we like fucked up in that like we're
We
still
haven't
running.
done anything, and
We're still running
still, and
a
we're right
bunch of
below them.
snipers, right? I think the widow is well
Yeah.
positioned.
I feel like I wasn't getting value here.
One of them.
It's hard for me to get
Yo,
value
can you
here,
let me talk
honestly.
for a second? For
Sorry.
fuck's sake, dude. So like, if one of the snipers is like swinging around back here and like looking down this sight line or even further back, then we're still creating that crossfire. But like right now, we have like about equal shield break to them, and like worse healing. So like the entire point of this on first point is just to create alternate angles of attack and just get around their shit, which I think we can still do even if it's more difficult on second, but we're just not doing it. That's all.
Yo,
We're just
Not
like all
to-
over the place.
not to like completely stop
Back in line, back in line, back
the
in line.
Vod
Thank you. Lock me real quick. Get in.
of this map, but I think we should start talking about something that we will normally do, because we usually don't play this map, and like especially this comp is not something we've been practicing. So I think, I don't know, you guys want to talk about a different map, something that we'll most likely do today? I think it will be better.
Alright, here's Oasis.
Do you guys want to take a? Okay, do you want to like practice Rialto today? Because like I'm curious about the new map. Like,
I don't really want it.
It's not an open division, right?
No, because
yeah, I know, but
I mean,
I
if
think
you
it's-
if you want to, absolutely. But like,
Normally would agree with you, but it did not.
the
We're
map's
still-
kind of weird.
we still aren't even good on these maps. So like start different.
yeah, I know. It's really just I'm curious, and
We can play it for fun
but okay, that's
at
cool.
some point.
So I think what I want to run into today is a lot of like triple support fucking Ryan Zarya and then some other DPS, depending on map. Sometimes it's like Pharah would be really good. But like from what I'm seeing, there's a lot of triple support with Brigitte and then like either Lucio Moira or like Zen Moira or like Mercy Lucio on ground. Or Moira, Mercy, Brigitte. I don't know. It's like the way it like fails is if they have a lot of high ground control on a high ground map and they can slowly whittle you down without getting a ton of progress, which is what we ran into on like Volskaya attack that one time. But otherwise you just kind of rush them and you just use Brigitte ult on a cooldown and you just crush them. I don't know.
Wait, so what exactly, if we do end up running the Jedi Reinhardt, what type of comp would you want to play? Like, I
It's
guess it
pretty much
depends on
just brawl, right?
Yeah, you're
just
just
brawl
looking
out.
to speed into them and use all of your cooldowns on one poor innocent soul and murder them.
what about like our DPS? Say they do have the same comp, we're gonna be even. What would make the difference?
It just
on
comes
our
down
side?
to execution then. It's like target focus, managing
Is
cooldowns,
Zarya
communication.
bubbles? Zarya bubbles are huge.
Yeah, Zarya bubbles tied with your aggression, following discords if you're running Discord, ult management. Like it's not like, oh, our comp is advantaged against theirs because we're running Junkrat versus McCree. It's more like we're just better at executing that composition. It's
Okay.
fucking boring in my opinion. Like but it's like in the moment, just sort of mechanical outplay and game sense outplay. It's something we're gonna have to grind out if this is the real meta. and just like learn how to do it from scratch almost.
I love Zarya, so we already got a plus there.
Nice. Hmm. So what do you, not to like keep beating that horse, but what do you think will run the DPS? Is that like I get that we're gonna basically
So I think like on a map like this, when we're running, well, either attack or defense, you'd run like Rhine, Zarya, Diva, Brigitte, Lucio, Moira. And you say, fuck the high ground, we're just going to kill whoever comes to point. And we're just going to avoid the Pharah before it gets value or the Widow before it gets value. And we're just going to brawl them constantly. We're going to engage every fight with speed boost. And we're going to pick a target and we're going to kill it.
Okay, so we're doing the brawl and basically we're looking for it, forcing.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly.
So we won't be like playing to counter their Brigitte comp.
We're running our own, essentially, yeah.
Alright, I mean I'm down. It is a little boring.
Yeah,
I'm down.
Not for Zarya.
well, yeah, the Zarya is the, like, linchpin to the whole thing, for sure.
Oh man, I'm gonna struggle.
Brigitte might be fun too.
We gotta work on our bubble shatter combo because otherwise I won't get a single shatter.
Yeah, and, like, boop, or, like, stopping their Reinhardt with our shield
Yeah.
bash and then shattering.
If we, never mind.
If what? What?
No, I was just thinking like if we do end up playing McCree Reinhardt again, I would like to try the thing again, the like the stun shatter or the stuff like that. But like,
Oh, like the charge high noon or stun shatter?
yeah, but it's like at this point it doesn't even matter because everything's changing.
Yeah.
Even if
I think that can work if, like, we drop the Diva and we really want to hit scan because the Pharah is pissing us off. In which case, instead of the Moira, you might run the Mercy just to get better value. Like, it might be Brigitte, Zen, Mercy instead. But then we're playing like a slower style where we're not rushing them. I don't know how well the Sombra works because if she's the solo flanker here, she doesn't really do too much.
I think we were just using it for EMP pretty much. Like we just built EMP and then comboed it with grab or shatter.
But like the grab or shatter are generally good enough too sometimes.
Shit, sorry. Just push in. You can't do anything. The EMP only gets rid of shields, right? No.
Not armor, no.
Not armor at all, no. I also see some people run the Ana here just to like counter triple support and shut their healing down.
Yo,
so
one
we
thing...
could do that, but I don't think Saves plays Ana that heavily. Why would she, right?
One thing that I think we should start thinking of doing is like when the Brigitte uses her ult, how we respond. Again, this person in his video said we should just focus her and just try to kill her ASAP because that way the entire team doesn't get much value. Because it's kind of stupid to be hitting another target while that target keeps getting armor and armor. Because, you know, the 150, you take it down, but, you know, as time goes, the person gets another 150 of armor. It's just annoying. So, I mean, we could just focus the Brigitte when she's using her ult.
I think we'll find more and more that the Brigitte will use ult in like the downtime between fights when her entire team's grouped, rather than mid-fight a lot of the time, at least until that nerf comes through that benefits them to use it on engage. But yeah, if we can focus her, that's fantastic, but like consider how difficult it already is to fucking focus her. And then she's like regenning on top of that and her team is focused on keeping her alive. It might be a bit rough, but obviously if we can kill her in the early stages of it and shut it down, like that would be fantastic.
I think we should try because like if we focus somebody else, like it's kind of the same outcome. She's gonna keep them alive and plus the other healer as well. It's like such a pain. Yeah, I think everybody should have the same mindset.
I like how I used Tyre this fight, and then I have 64% by the next time the fight's over. Like literally, I get 64% in like 10 seconds. Sorry.
I'm gonna take high ground in the meantime. We just push with 3 right now. Let you know when they gotta come back. Their Ryan is taking high ground. He's gonna do
We may
a
wanna.
jump. Yeah.
I'm not sure if Tonki has like actually practiced the Vegeta, but I don't know. Maybe.
He practiced it a good amount. Like he played it a lot when she first came out, like in what's it called
Deathmatch.
games in deathmatch, and then we scrimmed her a few times. So
Okay.
like he definitely like understands how to play her, but like playing her in a team setting like just means you gotta practice her in a team setting.
Okay. No, I'm not saying it because of any reason. I was just wondering.
Can Gray, can you come into a custom lobby so I can test something about the new Hanzo real quick?
Junk is
Yeah.
tank as well.
Um,
I got trapped again.
I wanted to.
Nice.
Yeah. Hold on.
Mercy's right here. I'm hacking.
Is it?
She has ball connection.
Just kidding. Let me know if you need us
I'm
to
gonna go to
watch
the
system.
bathroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Yeah, Reinhardt just stay on point.
Okay.
I'm gonna just spam.
Because I know that
Stay on point and then-
like for example, soldier low spoon. Like when a monkey jumps on a soldier, if the soldier runs or runs away and jumps as monkey jumps on him, the monkey boop will push him away. And I'm wondering if you can do something similar with Hanzo's new leap.
It depends on where the monkey
I
jumps.
assume so. Yeah. If
If
it's like additive, your boop plus your movement.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I'd
I
say
want to see
no.
if it like gets to Hanzo far away, so that far enough away that like how far away it puts
Currently,
him,
you move
basically.
further, moving diagonally. By the way.
Yes, I did hear about that. I literally haven't practiced it at all, honestly. So I'm actually gonna go into a leap game. I'm gonna go into a custom private. No, what's it called? Practice range.
Oh. Wait. What?
Also, they changed his arrow speed. No, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did. It's faster now. Like he shoots it faster. Like that's fucking crazy. You don't have to aim like ahead of the target as much anymore. Like you barely have to do it to hit him. Or
Okay,
like,
it's not as like hit scan as I thought it was gonna be.
like
Oh, I am definitely overleading shots now, though. Oh my god, like crazy. A little bit of getting
that's
used to.
crazy. I feel so at a disadvantage with all these new characters that have been coming out. Hi. Like fucking Doomfist takes 250 of my HP, half my HP as Winston with one good charge. Like I'm huge, so it's not that hard to hit me. And then his combo and I'm just gone. Thought it was a tank. Meanwhile, I'm just sapping 60 HP per second. Like,
But he has shields and stupid character. A Doomfist. It's so that like if the character's designed in such a way that like you're mechanically helpless as the victim if he's able to pull it off.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels pretty bad.
I mean, it basically is modeled. I realize that it's basically modeled exactly after fighting game, and that's exactly it. Combos in fighting games work where like basically as Doomfist you can juggle someone.
Yeah. One thing I do want to touch on from this VOD, which I'm kind of like paused on, is that there are a lot of times we initiate a fight when it's not really advantageous for us to do so.
Like
like right now it's Dorado third point. Cart just got through the doors. No one's on it, but even if someone was on it to push, we're gonna end up like using Shatter away from the fight to try to stagger them further when they're not contesting. So by the time they respawn, like the payload is just now going to get to the phase where they can still contest, where if we just like play position and wait for poke out and then Shatter later and win that fight, they don't get another contest. So like we're blowing a cooldown in a fight where like win or lose, they still have more to play, essentially.
Yeah.
And maybe we do it for like the ult play of like getting Lakota back his tire or Brigitte back her ultimate. But at the same time, like you could easily just like build their own ultimates while just depleting yours if you're not careful.
Yep.
I notice sometimes on like I can wall second point. Enemy team has high ground control. We end up jumping them even though they don't have like any contest on payload, and we die up there because we use our cooldowns, and then we don't have any way of escaping. And then they can take payload for free. Or like Dorado, where like we kind of like force an engagement with Tonki and saves on the ground. End up losing it because we just forced instead of line of sighting it. And waiting for them to contest, and then suddenly we don't have control anymore. Maybe we can look at situations where that can happen. And just take the free cart sometimes.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if we're playing Death Ball. That's like things like that are at the